So, opinion piece time. Please take the things I say in this video as my own personal opinions and not some stone cold facts. You're free to disagree and chime in the comments if there's something I didn't consider in the video. And new background, courtesy of Freya Amari, since my previous overlay was a mess and a half to try and get chroma keyed. Anyways, Vtweeters. We've all seen them on the timeline. They're pretty much a staple in the community. Oh, big account. It must be a very cool streamer. Let me look at their Twitch VODs. Oh, there's no Twitch account? So then, do they post content? Trust me, when I first started using Twitter for VTubing activities and was looking for some accounts to follow, my confusion around this whole thing was up above the Earth's atmosphere. I frankly had never seen this type of situation before, and it seems oddly unique to the VTubing sphere. So what is a VTweeter? Well, there's two definitions I can find that fluctuate in severity depending on the person you ask. But in general, it's the pre-debut VTubers who have no debut date set and have chosen to just not make content until their debut, and those who never had the intention of making content in the first place. If you're confused on why the second option is even considered a VTuber, it's because they choose to create or commission art in the style of most VTuber character reference sheets, and they hang out in the indie VTuber community. Now, you might be wondering why this is even a problem. And frankly, it's not. I don't think it's a problem, really. Social media views are not finite, so these accounts existing and growing in followers does not harm actual streamers or content creators. However, it does make me unnecessarily frustrated. There is a few reasons for this, which I will go into in a bit, but I want to take the time right now to say, if this has hit a little bit too close to home, please know that I am not directly targeting you or your choices on Twitter. I want to preface this by saying if you are an aspiring VTuber who doesn't have a debut date set for not having a model or don't have the funds for a PC yet and just want to start interacting in the community while saving up money, then this is not about you. I do not have a problem with you. Take all the time you need before you're ready to start your streaming career. These are just some trends I am seeing on Twitter that are unfortunately picking up traction, which I believe is not a good thing to promote. The first issue that a lot of people have with Vtweeters is that they grow massive followings based around the concept of possibly one day becoming a content creator. If you have ever posted content that you worked hard on, or you hyped yourself up for weeks before streaming to a grand total of 0 people, you will know that this fucking sucks to see. Some of these accounts will have thousands of followers and a community that interacts with your tweets every day, while people stepping foot into the content creation grind are seeing next to nothing of the sort. Not just that, sometimes people will stream for months or years without even being able to hit affiliate, while Vtweeters are able to gain some numbers by posting semi-relatable tweets, again, based around the concept of potentially becoming a VTuber. I know this is starting to sound like a rant because my Twitter isn't popping, but I've already found a decent-sized audience for myself. That does not mean I don't see creators who are being left in the dust by some of these Vtweeter accounts, and that I don't know how it feels. I know for a fact that it was fucking demoralizing. Not only that, a lot of those accounts take that amount of engagement on Twitter to mean that, hey, maybe I really am an influencer now. I'm a VTuber. I know how it works because I hang around here so often and I read up on all the latest drama. Maury Calliope made a whole verse in her song Off With Their Heads around those people, because oftentimes they trick themselves into believing that they know how it is and what it's like to be a VTuber, and so they post tweets filled with advice and hot takes based around their lack of knowledge. Sometimes these takes blow up and real VTubers quote retweet with actual good advice, and it's not in bad faith to call bad takes bad takes. If you don't know what you're talking about and are trying to pass your opinions off as the truth because of your experience, then creators who put in the time and effort to post content and stream regularly have all the right to counter it. This does not mean I'm condoning bullying, by the way. There's always bad actors whenever tweets blow up on any side. That doesn't subtract from the fact that sometimes there are very harmful and gatekeepy takes being posted by Vtweeters that can and should be countered by the parties with actual experience. I'm sure you've seen this tweet on your timeline a few weeks ago. I won't show the original poster's name because I don't want you to go and target them more than they already have, but this is a good example of a VTweeter hot take that blew up. Now, to this person's credit, they have made content in the past, but from everywhere I looked, they haven't been actively making content since at least the start of 2023. It's fine to take breaks for mental health or just because you're busy, right? But if you're not putting in the effort and making content and you're able to analyze the numbers and growth for it, then you shouldn't be making huge claims like this one. The tweet reads, "I see too many VTweeters lately spouting political trash tampering with what it means to be a VTuber. We're performers and comedians, not political activists. I understand that people want to care about political issues and all that stuff, but try and keep that out of your careers." On one hand, I can agree to a certain extent. I often don't like to engage in politics. But my definition of political content is who to vote for as the next US president, tax reforms, alt-right podcasters trending into mainstream media due to gaining clout on TikTok. I don't want to see that shit. But the VTuber sphere doesn't even push that type of content forward anyway. What the recent politics have been that they're likely referring to are LGBT rights coming into question for the 100th time in history by internet keyboard warriors. Being a marginalized person with real-life issues is not political. Being a VTuber doesn't magically erase the person behind the screen's experiences in life if they're part of the LGBT or Black or Muslim or deaf community. We talk about our lives. That's not politics. And so, it's not damaging to our careers or the sanctity of VTubing. What is essentially happening here is that people are so used to Nijisanji and Hololive talents being corporate-friendly and brand-friendly that they assume the right path for every VTuber is to never touch on certain topics. That shouldn't be the case if you're indie, because you can talk about whatever the fuck you want since you're indie. The consequences of their actions are fully their own responsibilities, and if they are ready for it, then who's to say that they shouldn't? Again, this is just one example of someone with less experience trying to police how other or newer VTubers create their content. We are all just voices on the internet, and we have the ability to post whatever opinion we want, but it will always be an opinion, so don't try to sell it as career advice. Next is that some VTweeters get extremely jealous over VTubers who stream or make videos or even TikToks and blow up with a loyal audience that transfer to multiple platforms, while when the VTweeter decides to stream once every month, their viewership is still in the single digits. It's a bad reflection on their Twitter following, since their ego has been pushed up to a certain degree with having thousands of followers that they think they automatically deserve to have the same numbers when they stream. That's not how content creation works at all. But a lot of them lose sight of the reality of putting in long hours of honing their craft and entertainment factor to garner an audience, because they think that funny tweeter equals funny live streamer. I don't even know how to begin to comprehend that mindset. I've seen some tweets where they blame the bigger VTubers like Shoto or Cinder or Gura or one of those massive success stories because they think when they stream, they have a similar content or similar vibes to those people, but they aren't magically getting the attention. The jealous tweets end up becoming what they're known for in the community, and people dunk on them for being exactly what they are, VTweeters. So why do they continue to stick to their reputation without growing out of it? Do they not see the irony in their actions versus expectations? So, like I mentioned at the start, there are two types of VTweeters. This could very well be the first of the two, being forever pre-debuts who maybe once or twice dabble into practice streams after amassing a large Twitter audience. After failing some practice streams where no one shows up, are they feeling disheartened and then blame bigger VTubers for stealing their audience? It's really hard for me to say because you have to have their mindset to find the reason for their jealousy yet self-placation of not changing their tactics. Because VTweeters don't have the ability to gain a platform on sites like YouTube and Twitch, their only goal and source of presence is their Twitter. To stand out and become a voice that matters, slapping pre-debut onto essentially a glorified OC roleplay account becomes their main identity. This phenomena has gotten so powerful that a lot of their ways of gaining hollow follower counts to seem bigger than they actually are have sort of become the norm for starting VTubers. I'm not blaming the interaction bait and follow for follows solely on VTweeters, but you will end up scrolling past posts on your timeline from those types of contentless accounts more often than not, and you rarely see established creators indulging in the same tactics. Maybe it's because it's so normalized in the VTuber sphere that people don't see how absurd the idea of a VTweeter is. So let's remove the VTuber aspect of it. Imagine you're someone who loves watching YouTube and maybe has opened a YouTube channel and customized it with a banner and logo and brand, right? Although you haven't posted or filmed or even scripted a video yet, would you go and tell your friends that you're a YouTuber? I don't think so. You definitely wouldn't call yourself a pre-debut YouTuber, because you're either a YouTuber or you're not. If you say you're interested in becoming a YouTuber in the future, fine. All is well. Because you're not taking the title of YouTuber with zero experience under your belt. Because if you do put YouTuber in your Twitter bio and start throwing out opinions on what new YouTubers should be doing, you're effectively tricking people into thinking that you know what you're talking about thanks to your months or years of experience that you do not have. Does that help show how odd pre-debut VTweeters are? Regardless of my speculations, I think there needs to be a change in the community on Twitter. Having VTubers and VTweeters in the same space trying to interact with the same audience causes frustration and jealousy, as we have seen. I think VTweeters need to rebrand as something else, not pre-debut VTubers. If they aren't making content or don't decide to pursue making content regularly, yet want to maintain having an anime-styled avatar for profile pictures and fan art, then I think we should open a new community niche. Call them something less derogatory, like OC roleplayers or V personalities. V-influencers. Because there are already mainstream people who don't make content, just tweet, and they are very, very popular. No one judges them for not making content because they aren't claiming to be content creators. You can absolutely masquerade your identity as an anime original character and make commentary of your choice. Make funny, wholesome tweets. Do the same things you were doing as a VTweeter, just without the fake promise of producing content eventually. Let's face it. Not everyone is fit to be a content creator or never wanted to be in the first place, but wanted to make friends in the community. In that case, make a subgenre. You'll still be interacting with the VTuber and anime circle. You're just not under the pressure and judgment of people awaiting a debut. While it's frustrating to see, people that fall into the V-influencer category will not simply disappear overnight. And again, having fun with an OC on fandom Twitter is not inherently a bad thing. But there should be a distinction between content creators and non-content creators in the space. So going forward, can we start the subgenre of V-influencers instead of forever pre-debut VTubers? Spend as much money as you want on pretty avatars and PNGs and fan arts and logos and banners. Just don't brand yourself as a soon-to-be VTuber if you don't want to be a soon-to-be VTuber. Anyway, that's all my rant for this video. It was just kind of a spur-of-the-moment topic that I was thinking about, because there are so many Twitter drama just happening all the time, sometimes caused by VTweeters and sometimes caused by newer VTubers who are dangling on the side of VTweeter. So what can we do? What can we do to fix this issue? Because so many people are getting annoyed by it, and Twitter has just becoming this cesspool of negativity and just jealousy over bigger VTubers who make it past the VTweeter stage. So what can we do? What can we do besides push them apart, you know? Anyways, that's all I have planned for this video. Please let me know what you think in the comments, and like and subscribe if you like this type of content, and I will be making more soon. Alrighty, bye bye.